to the gentlelady from Nevada, Ms. Titus, for questions.
Thank you. I'm still trying to figure out how using renewable energy causes wildfires, but I guess there's an explanation for it. Trees explode. I don't know. Anyway, we know that the balance is down to $2.4 billion in the relief fund. That sounds like a lot, but as we have more disasters, they last longer, they do more damage, they're more expensive. This money is going to be gone very quickly, and I've been very vocal about supporting supplemental funding to the DRF and saying that it should pass the House without any social policy poison pills attached to it. One area that you don't hear as much about, but it certainly is a partner of yours, is the National Weather Service. Now, the National Weather Service, I think, is one of the strongest federal partners we have for emergency managers. We rely on their services daily to predict what's going to happen, forecast, warnings, decision support. Now, the Republicans have proposed slashing the National Weather Service by $200 million this fiscal year. I wonder if you could comment on how that will undermine some of your efforts, or if you think that's a good idea.
Ranking Member Titus, the National Weather Service is such a great partner for us, and all of the sister agencies that go with that, the National Water Center, the National Hurricane Center, all of those components underneath NOAA. They bring us critical data and information as well as modeling to help us anticipate what the threats are going to be to a community so we can put the right measures in place to help protect them, whether that is as we're watching a storm develop and allowing us to pre-position resources into areas so we can perform life-saving actions, to predicting what the future might hold to help better invest our mitigation dollars. Any reduction in the ability for us to get that valued information, data, and modeling would have a significant impact on the safety and security of our communities across the nation.
It would negatively affect your ability to spend the taxpayer dollars in the most efficient way to save property and to, more importantly, save lives. Is that right?
I think it would cause us to have an increase in the amount of money that we're spending on responding and recovering because we won't have the accurate data to better mitigate against the future risks that they're facing.
Thank you. I would ask you also your opinion and to tell us a little bit about what you think will be the results if we can get the Disaster Survivor Fairness Act that I mentioned in my opening statements passed. This seems to be supported by both parties, seems to make us more efficient, seems to be a way to speed things up, to be more equitable, passed out of this committee unanimously. Would you talk a little bit about how you anticipate that might be a good idea?
I am very excited and very appreciative of the support of this bipartisan legislation. I believe that the Disaster Survivor Fairness Act is going to make a tremendous difference in our ability to help communities. And there are a wide number of things that are covered in that, but there's three that I really want to point out for the committee. First, it's going to give us the authority to do direct repair to homes. This is going to be quicker, more efficient, as well as more cost-effective than the traditional programs that we use of manufactured housing or temporary housing units. Second, it's going to give us the ability to also provide direct housing grants to states. We've worked with some of our states through our non-congregate sheltering program over the last year to see how much quicker they can implement some of these programs. By giving them the ability for us to give them direct grants, we believe that will also increase the efficiency and the ability for states to better take care of their residents. And then finally, and I think really important, is it is going to give us the ability to streamline information sharing across our federal agencies. Many of our federal partners use our data to help influence how they're going to implement their disaster programs. If we can streamline that level of information sharing, it will make those programs quicker to get online.
Thank you. Well, we need your help advocating for this because I agree with you. I think it would make a big difference and be helpful, and we'd like to see it pass. Something else quickly I'd ask you about are the firefighter grants that are set to sunset next year, next September, merit-based matching grants for local fire departments. Can you address those? Is that, your advocacy for renewing those programs?
Yeah, the reauthorization of our Assistance to Fire Grant program is of critical importance because our firefighters are the backbone of our first responders that are out there. And this grant program, allows us to continue to build capacity in our fire departments, both volunteer and paid departments across the nation. And the ability to have this program in place, if we didn't have it, it would definitely jeopardize our first responders across the nation.
And that's
You
not
have my
just to
support
fight
for this.
wildfires. They do have many other functions as well.
I'm sorry, ma'am?
It's not just to fight wildfires in the West. They
No.
have many other functions as well.
No, this is for
across the
all of our
country.
firefighters, structural firefighters, municipal, as well as, again, our volunteer agencies. Critical program to keep that capability efficient to support the needs that we're facing.
Thank you. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.